Hello and welcome to today's episode of Live with Impact. This is Angela Brown and I'm here with Omuugn and we're talking about common sense. I know you're thinking common sense is not common, is it? Well, it depends on the information that you have. So today we're going to talk about that. We're going to discover how we can find common sense in our everyday activities to help us make wiser choices. Please help me welcome Omuugn.
Depending on the quality of your questions, that will determine the quality of the answers that you get back.
Can I interrupt you right there and just say that nothing has taught me that more clearly than using Chat GPT? Because I can say to a person, this is not working. And they can look around and try to figure out what it is that's not working. But Chat GPT does not know what this is. So I have to be very specific because it will give me an answer based on the crappy information I gave it, or it will give me a better answer if I give it more information. And I found, wait a second, if that's true for AI, is this also true for my husband? If I give him more information and I'm very specific, will I get a different or a better answer?
Well, that brings up a whole array of ideas. We won't touch on all of them, but people have different definitions for words. And so as we communicate with people or with AI, as you mentioned, if we use the wrong word, they're going to interpret it a certain way. Sometimes we say things that are very clear to our understanding, but they're not, we don't convey the same message to the people that we speak to because they define words differently than we do. For example, the word person. Everyone knows who a person is. And yet, if you look at a law dictionary definition of person, a person is not a human being. A person in Black's Law Dictionary is a corporation or a trust or a foundation. If you're talking to a business person and you say, I want all of the persons that I interact with to do this, they may be thinking of a totally different structure than you're talking about. We have to make sure that we're really on the same page with people and that we understand the same thing for the quality of our questions to be interpreted properly and we learn the same lessons. A lot of times people learn different lessons from the same experience because they define things differently. We have to be careful. But like you say, the quality of the question will determine the quality of the answer. The more clear and precise and specific, and the more in line with everything that you're thinking about, the better the communication is going to be. That's a really critical element. Another one is really, we don't think enough of the cause and effect situation. When we make decisions, there are consequences. One that comes just to mind is our diet. You can drink a highly sugared, caffeinated, CO2 impregnated drink.
Can we just call it a soda for everybody that doesn't know what that is?
That takes us back to our last point about clarity.
There you go. An impregnated drink of sugar and carbonation or
All right, a soda.
a soda. Okay.
Someone can drink a soda and they don't feel bad after they drink the soda. They may have enjoyed the soda without realizing what's going on inside of the cells in their body, how their body is actually utilizing the sugars and the high fructose corn syrup. You cannot do that over a long period of time and remain healthy. Your body is going to change in an adverse way. There's a consequence for all of the decisions that we make. As we said at the beginning, common sense is not common because people justify eating at fast food places all of the time or drinking sodas all of the time or consuming vast amounts of sugar or salt or different things. All of those things have consequences. If you're going to sit in a chair all day in front of your computer and not exercise, not move around, not utilize the muscles in your body, it's going to have a consequence over time. Scientists will say that if you don't exercise frequently, that it actually cuts years off of your expected lifespan. So what you eat, how you exercise, they really have consequences. A lot of times we do things mindlessly. Our common sense isn't based on sound judgment. It's just based on what we want to do. What we want to do isn't necessarily common sense, and there are consequences for what we do.
That changes your common sense. I mean, you talk about the people that drink 13 sodas in the course of a day. And then at some point of their life, you say the consequences or the effects will catch up with you. There's a new common sense now based on the choices that they made in the past. And how far can we go back and how early do we need to start thinking? And I call it future casting. If I drink this today, how is this going to affect me later on? How early do we have to start?
Everything we do really is a decision, and all of those decisions have consequences. If we start basing our decisions upon sound judgment, our common sense will be much more profound and be a real ally to us rather than a detriment. Those are factors that we need to consider all of the time.
All righty. Come back next week, same time, same place. We're going to be discussing communication. Ah, another great topic. Until then, have a great week.
All right. See you next week.